What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Suit Hines Show. And in today's video, I each Sunday, I do a Cincinnati Bengals third-round mock draft. And today's video, I'm going to be doing two Cincinnati Bengals third-round mock drafts. And this video is live on YouTube, like every single video I do. And with the recent trades with with the Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles, and who was the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what the Bengals do with the draft. And with those trades happening, I definitely think of all the teams who benefit from those trades, the Bengals definitely benefit more than anybody else in the draft because with the 49ers trading up in the top five, that means they're probably going to select a quarterback. Well, that's a guarantee they're going to select a quarterback. It's just a matter, in my opinion, of it's Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Personally, I believe it will be Trey Lance. But so we already know kind of number one and number two will be Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. And if you've seen my videos before and my recent ones and mock drafts, I even did a video about it. I said the 49ers were going to trade in the top five to get a quarterback. I did say it was going to be Zach Wilson, and they did. I would say they tried to attempt to trade up for number two to get Zach Wilson because it was reported that the 49ers traded up. Well, they traded with the Dolphins. The 49ers actually called the Bengals about the fifth pick, but the Bengals had no intentions of trading that pick. So, obviously San Francisco selects the quarterback. Number four, to me, I think that's going to be a quarterback. So, you have right there. That's Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. Let's say Trey Lance and Justin Fields are 3 and 4. Penei Sewell and Jamar Chase are both there. And Kyle Pitts, more than likely, would be there. That's the best case scenario if you're a Bengal fan. It's pretty much possible to screw that up. The only way I would say you could possibly screw it up is if you trade back and you're unable to get one of those three guys. I've said before, I like Kyle Pitts more than Jamar Chase. Not by a lot, but it's close. I just really think Pitts is a generational type of talent. But I'd be happy with any three of those guys. And so we will go ahead and get started here in just a second. So let me know what you all think about that trade and everything. Personally, it benefits us just so much. And I think, if Jamar Chase and Penei Sewell's there, either one I'm fine with. I know this fan base is going to be pretty much absolutely toxic for the next month, just arguing and complaining about who's going to be pick number 5, who should it be, Sewell, Chase. Even heard a couple people say, trade back for Slater, trade back for Pitts, which I'm all for trading back for Pitts. But like I said, trading back, you cannot. Trading back is just very, very risky because you may not end up getting one of those guys. You have to get one of those guys. If you don't, you pretty much have a disappointing draft if you can't get one of those guys with the trade back. So we are in PFF, Mock Draft Simulator. We always do. So Penei Sewell's gone. Don't really see that happening. So with Penei Sewell gone, I'm going to go ahead and take Jamar Chase. But we'll see who was the top 4 picks. The top 3, top 2 is going to happen. 3, I just don't see Justin Fields going number 3. I think it's going to be Trey Lance. 4, that's very questionable. The Atlanta Falcons picked a couple of offensive linemen in the first round a couple years ago, Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry. And I don't really see Penei Sewell being drafted by the Falcons. They're set on a quarterback, and I've said this for a couple months. I think whoever picks number 4 will be a quarterback. But with Penei Sewell being drafted by Atlanta, Sewell's gone. You cannot reach for a tackle here, in my opinion. This actually, in a way, could be bad because, I would expect us to take Jamar Chase here, but this reminds me a lot several years ago with Billy Price. Remember, Frank Ragnow was to pick ahead of one pick before us. We had full intentions on taking him. He was picked, so we reach and take Billy Price. Hopefully that's not the case here with taking, Rashawn Slater. But, Chase, those reports, Burrow wants Chase. I don't know if that's true. This is smokescreen season. We're just a little over a month away. We're less than 5 weeks away from the draft. It's just absolutely insane to say this offseason has been so fast, in my opinion. But we could maybe trade back and get Rashawn Slater, but I want to kind of be realistic on this one. So we'll take Jamar Chase here, number 5. Personally, I mean, we could have maybe traded back and got Rashawn. Well, maybe got an extra first-round pick and got Rashawn Slater, maybe Kyle Pitts. But I saw a thing. The Bengals may not be high on Kyle Pitts. Like I said, I mean, I really like Kyle Pitts. But Chase is fine there at 5. So in the second round here, let's see here. You're kind of looking at guards, possibly tackle, because Riley Reid's contract is only on a 1-year deal. So Samuel Cosmi, to me, he's already one that kind of stands out. Also with guards, maybe something to keep in mind in the 3rd round is Trey Smith from Tennessee and Deontay Brown from Alabama. Let's see here. Another thing, Terrence Marshall here in the 2nd round. If we take Sewell or we trade back and get Slater or something, we don't take a wide receiver in the 1st round. I could see a scenario where we take Terrence Marshall in the 2nd. I think that would be a pretty smart idea. Tyson Campbell, he's an intriguing one. Also, if we take, Liam Eckenberg from Notre Dame, that's something to maybe keep an eye on. I saw a stat today. Blake Jewell tweeted, I can't remember what it was. It was like only player and eligible last season for over 400 snaps and not allow a sack or something like that. Eckenberg would be really nice. Samuel Cosmi would be really nice. Those are 2 players I'm kind of looking at here at 38 because Reid's contract is only 1 year. Also, something to keep in mind, no Bengal fan is talking about it, and it's really, really, really. Jonah Williams has played 10 games in 2 seasons. Like, when is that going to start being talked about as an issue? I know, he didn't play at all his rookie season because, it's the Bengal curse. If you're a first-round pick for us, you're going to get hurt, and that's not really an opinion. That's just more so a fact. The 2nd season, he played 2 games and gets hurt. He's coming off a season-ending injury. Jonah Williams has been all right, but, the 2nd round, we could already be kind of drafting Riley Reif's replacement. And Riley Reif, in my opinion, is our best offensive lineman right now. I know some people may say, that's kind of crazy. Jonah Williams is pretty good. He's young. He has potential. He is good. He has potential, but he needs to stay on the field. So I just really think Bengal fans need to start a little bit worrying about Jonah Williams. 10 games, just 2 seasons, and a guy who was our first-round pick a couple years ago. That's starting to be concerning. It's going to be really concerning, especially if he gets hurt this season. So Eckenberg and Samuel Cosmi, to me, are the 2 players that stands out. I'm going to go Samuel Cosmi because I like him just a tad bit more than Eckenberg. But it's really interesting because, we take Jamar Chase in the 1st round. We take Samuel Cosmi in the 2nd. If we were to take Sewell at 5, I would probably take Terrence Marshall here. But since we didn't take Sewell, I'll take Samuel Cosmi, the tackle from Texas, in round 2. So let me know what you think of this mock draft so far. Personally, I just don't really see Penei Sewell being drafted by the Falcons. But if he is, you can pretty much bet on Chase going to the Bengals. What stands out right away is Davion Nixon in round 3. Defensive tackle from Iowa. I think it'd be a very, very nice piece or, defensive line. We signed Larry Ogunjobi, but his deal was only a 1-year contract. Mike Daniels, free agent. I really thought we would already re-sign him by now, but even if we would re-sign him, I expect it to be a 1-year contract. We have DJ Reader, but he's also coming off his season-ending injury. We have Renell Wren, Josh Dupas coming back, opting out of the season. It's going to be really interesting with defensive tackle. But to me, something to keep in mind on right here in round 3 is Davion Nixon and Eric Stokes, the corner from Georgia. And I know our secondary is good and all, and we keep on signing corners. But look at our contracts for the most part of the corners. Like, the only guys we signed the multi-year contracts are just replacements from the guys we lost. Adobe Owuzawi, it's a 3-year deal. He's a replacement for William Jackson. Mike Hilton is a 4-year deal. He's a replacement for Mackenzie Alexander. We've signed Eli Apple and a couple of those type of guys. But Apple, I believe his contract's only a 1-year deal. And, he's a depth guy. He's not going to play a ton. He may be a replacement for LaShawn Sims. Apple's not really good. He's better than LaShawn Sims, but that doesn't really say much. But our only actual, signings at corner who are going to contribute to the team are replacement guys, like I just said. The only guys who have multi-year contracts are guys who are going to be a big part of this defense in the future. And Eric Stokes, I cannot remember his 40-yard dash at Georgia's Pro Day. I want to say it was below 4.3, something like that. I cannot remember off the top of my head. But, he's one of the better corners in the draft. And him right here in round 3, that is an absolute steal. I don't see him here. I don't think he will be. Because I have to take him. I know we've already signed multiple corners in free agency, but you can't pass up that type of talent. William House says, I think the Panthers are going to trade up for a quarterback. I don't see that happening at all, specifically, and the main reason is because the Falcons and the Panthers are in the same division. Teams who are in the same division do not trade with one another. If the Panthers trade up to number 4, they're going to get a quarterback, whether it be Trey Lance or Justin Fields. But I don't really see that happening because, in a way, once Atlanta trades back, they're helping Carolina a lot by helping them get a franchise quarterback. Now, if you're talking about the Panthers trading up, I could definitely see the Panthers trading up with the Bengals if Trey Lance is available at number 5. That is a big if. Like I said, I personally believe Trey Lance would be the 3rd pick in the draft. But if Trey Lance were to fall to number 5, I 100% expect the Panthers to be calling the Bengals about a possible trade offer to trade up and get Trey Lance if he falls to number 5. Matt Rule is a big fan of Trey Lance. He happened to coach him in the Senior Bowl. Trey Lance, to me, is a very, very, very intriguing quarterback prospect. Playing at North Dakota State, he did not get, the hype and the recognition, like some of these other quarterbacks like Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. But Trey Lance, to me, I think he's the 3rd best quarterback in this draft class. He has so much potential. When I first started watching Lance, he reminded me quite a bit of Carson Wentz, his build, his mobility, and his passing. But the more I start to watch him, he reminds me so much of Deshaun Watson. And, the 49ers were in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes before, some of these allegations with Watson came up. That's why I personally believe maybe the 49ers will go Lance because, he's so much like Deshaun Watson. But if Lance would drop to 5, I could definitely see the Panthers trading up with the Bengals. But if Trey Lance would drop to number 4, I really don't see that happening because the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers are in the same division. So as we go to round number 4 here, so we took Jamar Chase, Samuel Cosmi, the offensive tackle from Texas, and in the 3rd round we took Eric Stokes from Georgia, the corner. So far, this is an A+ draft in my opinion. We've pretty much got best player available every single pick. You can never go wrong with best player available in general, and you can never go wrong with best player available when it's also a position need as well. So let's see here. Round number 4. I would say looking for a wide receiver, but since we already drafted Chase, we're not going to do that. I really like Dylan Moses here, Deontay Brown, like I mentioned, and Trey Smith. It's going to be between those 3 guys. I know last season we drafted Logan Wilson, Akeem Davis-Gaither, and Marcus Bailey, but you can never have too many good young linebackers, and it would be awesome with our defense. But, we've kind of yet to address the guard issue. For us, I know we did sign Quentin Spain, but I kind of thought we would have, the guard by now. I've mentioned multiple times I would really like us to sign Larry Warford. I prefer Larry Warford much more than Trey Turner, and it's not even close at all. But Deontay Brown, I don't believe he's allowed a sack in the last 3 seasons in Alabama. I might be wrong, but look at the stat PFF posted several months ago, and Trey Smith. Trey Smith is good, but his medical issues are a big question mark. He had some serious blood clot issues several years ago, I believe in 2018 or 19, and that's a little bit part of the reason why he's dropping so much. Reminds me a lot Maurice Hurst several years ago from Michigan. Maurice Hurst was somebody, I posted on Instagram. He was somebody I really, really wanted because, he could have been a second-round pick. If it wasn't for some of those heart issues, ended up dropping fourth round and was selected by the Raiders. And we ended up taking Mark Walton. And, I don't know. Last month he got arrested. I wouldn't be surprised if he was arrested today. And, ultimately, that was a bad pick by us. And we should have took best player available. Because Maurice Hurst should not have gotten that far. I know there's medical issues, but you got to take a chance. And Trey Smith, I would not be against this pick, but I want to take Deontay Brown, the guard from Alabama. If Deontay Brown was not here, I would 100% take Trey Smith. It's just the fact that Trey Smith's medical issues do concern a little bit, but I'll take Deontay Brown, the guard from Alabama there. So far, this has been pretty good. Let's see here. So in 4 rounds, we have took Jamar Chase, Samuel Cosmi, Eric Stokes, and Deontay Brown, the guard from Alabama. At this round, I would really like a defensive tackle or a edge rusher. Let's see here. Chris Rumph, I like him a lot. I also like Ellerson Smith from Northern Iowa quite a bit too. Milton Williams, that's somebody the Bengals were looking at. I believe they went to the pro day. They're a big fan of him. I don't really know where his projection is. I've kind of seen anywhere from the 3rd to 5th. And I'm going to go ahead and select him there because, he could be a very nice defensive tackle for the Bengals. And since we already like him, there's already a connection there. It makes quite a bit of sense. So that was round 5. This also includes our recent trade with the Texans. It's basically swapping 6th and 7th round picks, and us also giving the Texans Ryan Finley. So we have 2 6th round picks and 1 7th round. Let's see here. Edge rusher, somebody I like is Teron Jackson from Coastal Carolina. He's way down the list, but I don't think he will drop this far. But I'm going to go ahead and select him here. I know I'm not even looking at best player available, but on my board, I would have Teron Jackson, one of the best players available here. So comment below what you think of this mock draft so far. Personally, I think it's pretty good. Teron Jackson, Coastal Carolina. Really like that pick there. And I know I already selected the wide receiver, Jamar Chase. If Trevon Grimes from Florida, I am picking him. The wide receiver. I like him a lot. Also, Marquez Stevenson's there. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's one of those guys I really, really like. Yeah, Marquez Stevenson is gone, so I'm going to take Trevon Grimes from Florida. If you watch Grimes, I think he's extremely underrated. He does not get the credit he deserves, and he doesn't really get the recognition because he played with Kadarius Toney and Kyle Pitts. Pitts is going to be a top 10 pick. Kadarius Toney is probably going to be a 1st round pick, but Grimes was a very nice receiver at Florida too. He had some awesome catches. I believe it was an awesome jump ball catch. It was against Georgia, but I cannot remember if it was against Eric Stokes, the corner, or Tyson Campbell. Both those guys want to be high round picks. Trevon Grimes in round 6 is an absolute steal. I know we took Chase, but I cannot pass on Grimes here in round 6. And it's really interesting. You look at some of our picks. In the later rounds, we've really had some big hits with wide receivers. Marvin Jones was a 5th round pick. Auden Tate was a 7th round pick. TJ Hughes-Mathieu was a 7th round pick. We've had some really nice picks for wide receivers in day 3. So let's see here. Round 7. I would not be against taking a running back here. My favorite late round running backs are Brendan Knox, Javion Hawkins from Louisville, and Elijah Mitchell. The only one of those three are Brendan Knox, and there's to me it's between Brendan Knox. We have Jesse Bates and Von Bell. Jesse Bates is the best safety in the NFL. Von Bell is a very nice safety as well. And then we also recently re-signed Brandon Wilson to a 2-year contract, but he does not play a ton of safety. He's more so a special teams guy. We signed Ricardo Allen to a 1-year deal, and Sean Williams, he plays safety and linebacker. He's not expected to re-sign with us. Jacoby Stevens, I believe the Bengals were high on him. I don't think he should be here. I think he should be a little bit higher. Like I said, I wouldn't be against Brendan Knox or one of those three running backs, like I said. With Jacoby Stevens in the 7th round, you kind of got to take him. Add a little bit more depth in the secondary. Personally, I really, really like this mock draft. I think this would have benefited us so much. The only, I would say, issue, and I know I'm kind of just trying to find flaws, but maybe Sewell in the 1st, and maybe draft the wide receiver in the 2nd, or a possible trade back. But I kind of said I did not want to trade back on this one. Overall, I thought this was really nice. I'll get my second one in a minute. Jamar Chase in round 1, Samuel Cosmi in round 2, Eric Stokes, the corner from Georgia, in the 3rd round, Deontay Brown, the guard from Alabama, in the 4th, Milton Williams, the defense tackle from Louisiana Tech, in the 5th, Teron Jackson, the edge from Coastal Carolina, and Trevon Grimes, wide receiver from Florida, both in the 6th. And with the 7th round pick, we take Jacoby Stevens, the safety from LSU. Every single one of those picks to me are very, very nice. Those players, those are all best player available, in my opinion. So we'll start the second one here. Of mock drafts, that mock draft. Out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8, maybe 8.5. So PFF mock draft simulator, second one. Start that now. Let's see here. So this scenario, Jamar Chase is gone, which is very, very unlikely. Even the top 2, in my opinion, is kind of a mess up. Trevor Lawrence 1, Justin Fields 2. I really think Zach Wilson will be number 2. The 49ers take Zach Wilson, which in that scenario, I guess I would be right with them trading up to get Wilson. And number 4 is Jamar Chase. We'll take Penei Sewell here at number 5. There's not really much explanation. I would not be against trading back, let's say, to 8. Yeah, I am. Actually, we're going to do a trade here. We're going to offer. Let's see if the Panthers would want to do. Because I could see a scenario. Maybe the Panthers would offer us, maybe their 1st round pick next year, to get number 5. Because like I said in that first mock draft, if Trey Lance is available, which he is, I could see a scenario where the Panthers trade up with us because Matt Rule coached Trey Lance in senior bowl, and he likes him quite a bit. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to force trade it because I think this actually could happen. Yeah, I'm going to force trade this one because some of these trades don't make any sense. Ones that shouldn't happen do, ones that should don't. So we're going to trade here back to number 8. I know this is really risky. Penei Sewell is available, but Trey Lance is there, and I think the Panthers would offer us a nice deal in return to try to get Trey Lance. So Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater, and Kyle Pitts are still there. We'll be at least able to get one of those 3 guys. So we go back to 8. We get a first-round pick next season. I know most of you probably won't like that trade, but what? Christian Barmore at 7? That's pretty crazy. Sewell's gone. I'm fine with that. Like, I like Sewell a lot, but if we can just trade back to 8 and get an extra first-round pick and get Slater or something like that, I would be a fan of that. Trey Lance, what? Trey Lance still available? I thought for sure the Panthers would get Trey Lance there. That's really, really surprising. So Kyle Pitts and Rashawn Slater are both available. Pitts is my favorite first-round prospect for us. They're more realistic. We'll take Rashawn Slater, even though I would prefer to get Kyle Pitts. It's going to be a little bit more realistic. So we trade back from 5 to 8, and we get a first-round pick next season from the Carolina Panthers, and we trade back to select Rashawn Slater, the tackle from Northwestern. I do not think that's as bad as people are going to make it out to be. I actually really liked it a lot. So see round 2 here. This scenario I can maybe see wide receiver. Stands out if he's available. Maybe even Elijah Moore from Ole Miss, and he had a really nice pro day. Travis Etienne, don't know how he's available. He should be gone. Yeah, Terrence Marshall is available. Not sure about Elijah Moore, though I don't know how to pronounce his name. Brown, North Carolina is also available. I like him a lot. Dwayne Askridge, he's way down their list here, but I know he's available. Yeah, so round 2, I want to take a wide receiver. I want to take Terrence Marshall, the wide receiver from LSU. Everybody talks about, Chase played with Burrow. So did Terrence Marshall. I mean, he had, I believe, over 10 touchdowns with Burrow in 2019. And I think that'd be a really nice pick. I mean, we trade back to get Rashawn Slater. I know lots of people aren't happy with that probably by getting Slater, but we got first-round pick next season, and we get Terrence Marshall, the best wide receiver prospect available. I personally really like this mock draft so far. So as we go into round 3 here, I'm looking more than likely somebody on the defensive side of the ball, maybe edge, defensive tackle, something like that. Marvin Wilson, the defensive tackle from Fort State, that would not be bad at all. Devion Nixon, the defensive tackle from Iowa, still available. Let's see here. There's not anybody that really specifically is a huge like he has to be a pick here. But somebody I know who's available is edge rusher Patrick Jones. I don't know the reasoning why PFF has Patrick Farr on their list. I don't understand it at all. I want to take Patrick Jones to round 3. That is a A++ pick. Patrick Jones should not be here. Personally, I don't think he should. He's my favorite edge rusher in the class. I'm not saying he's my number 1 edge rusher, but he is my favorite. I mean, you watch his games last season. Even in a bad game, he'll still get a chest sack. Patrick Jones round 3, absolutely phenomenal. And I know we signing us getting Trey Hendrickson to a 4-year contract, but Sam Hubbard's a free agent 1 year from now. It's not a guarantee that he'll resign. And it's how those two guys, we really don't have much edge help at all. So maybe looking at a defensive tackle or a corner, or more likely the defensive side of the ball, because we did get a wide receiver so far, and we also get a tackle as well. Quincy Roche would be a nice pick if we did not take Pat Jones. If we don't get a defense tackle, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but I would like to get one. Because, like I said in the first mock draft, kind of already talked about it, we don't really have much depth at defensive tackle like people think we do. or enough depth that will actually contribute to the team. Is a better way to put it. There's still somebody I would not mind being in the next round or so. So maybe keep him in mind for the next round. I know in round 4, the last mock draft, we took Deontay Brown, guard from Alabama. So in this draft, we're going to say at guard, we're going to take Trey Smith, the guard from Tennessee. He's had some blood clot issues, some serious concerns. But Trey Smith in the 4th, I personally would not mind it at all, especially considering, we signed Vince Main, but it was only to a 1-year contract, so next season he'll be a free agent, and we still need some more guards. So Trey Smith, the guard from Tennessee, in the 4th, I like that pick a lot. In the 2nd, I wouldn't like it. In the 3rd, I probably would not like it. But the 4th, I'm all for it. Something interesting I don't understand, as the players are being picked here, I saw D'Angelo Malone from West Kentucky, the edge rusher. He's actually returning to West Kentucky. I don't know why they have yet to update their big board and take him off, because it was announced about 2 or 3 months ago he was actually going back to school. Let's see here. James Wiggins from Cincinnati, the safety. He's really nice. Jalen Tallman, I'm not going to pick him because I think he'll end up being a 3rd-round pick. He's actually a defensive tackle. He's not an edge rusher. I've seen some comparisons. People compare him to Geno Atkins and Aaron Donald. Any type of situation you compare like that is very, very nice, because those are like the best defensive tackles in the NFL. Let's see here. I guess Stills might have been picked. Oh, he's right here. This is 149. He's actually 169 on the big board. I think Stills will be picked before 169. I'm going to go ahead and select him. It was announced the Bengals are interested in Darius Stills. And this is not a reach like it says it is. But I really like that pick there. Gives us more depth at defensive tackle. Maybe get Darius Stills and Patrick Jones in this mock draft. We're really getting some young, nice quality players on a defensive line. So we have 2 6th-round picks and 1 7th-round pick with that Ryan Finley trade. I am doing 2 Cincinnati Bengals summer mock drafts. This is my 2nd mock draft of the 2. Anthony Schwartz is very interesting. I believe we pick in in 13 picks. This is currently pick 189. We pick again at 202. So depending on who we want to pick, he may end up still being there. But I prefer to get somebody now who's probably not going to be there. Anthony Schwartz. It was announced the Bengals also like Schwartz a lot, and he's probably the fastest player in this draft class. And I know the John Ross experiment did not work out, but I would not mind Schwartz in round 6 personally. He does not have great production at Auburn, but it's more so the speed while he's on people's big boards. I'm gonna go ahead and get him here. He may not drop to round 6, but if he is, I would really like it. It was our first 6th-round pick, and with our 2nd 6th-round pick, I would maybe like Javion Hawkins, the running back from Louisville, or maybe even Elijah Mitchell, the running back of Louisiana. And I know, we signed P. Ryan to a 2-year deal. We have Mixon, but he was hurt, and P. Ryan, Trevion Williams, and there was also reports that teams are interested in Giovanni Bernard. I would be fine if the Bengals traded Bernard for like a 4th-round pick, 5th-round pick. That's kind of, I don't know. Not too sure about a 5th-round pick, but I would do a 4th-round pick for Bernard. Running back, I would definitely maybe like to get us a running back here. I believe Javion Hawkins was already picked. Let's see here. Yeah, he was actually just picked a couple picks after us. I want to take Elijah Mitchell, the running back from Louisiana. I like him a lot. He's definitely one of the most underrated running backs in this draft class. And I know we are, you know, backfield filled with, running backs, but, with the possibility of Bernard getting cut or traded, I would still like us to maybe get a extra running back as well. So let's go to round 7 here. Last my draft I picked Jacoby Stevens. I would not mind him, but I want to try to be different unless there's somebody that absolutely stands out. And stand out is Quentin Morris. Just looking at the big board here, Quentin Morris, the tight end from Bowling Green. It's really weird because I think Quentin Morris will be maybe drafted in the 5th round or so. He's a really nice pro day, and a really nice pro day. Senior Bowl, it's fantastic in the Senior Bowl game, and practice for the week. Even a hurdle guy in that game, very very athletic. We have yet to take a tight end in this mock draft. Quentin Morris to me is somebody I would really like in the late round, especially like around 7. That's an absolute steal there. And for example, you look at some of these tight ends. Caesar Uzama, I believe he was either a 5th or 6th round pick. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Zach Ertz, some of the better tight ends in the NFL were mid-round picks. And I'm not saying Quentin Morris is going to be the next George Kittle or Travis Kelce, but I would not be surprised, if we would end up drafting Quentin Morris, if he would have, maybe a pretty nice career with us, or have, he may end up being better than people think. So Quentin Morris, the tight end from Bowling Green, round 7, that's a steal right there. Love that pick. It's very interesting. In the first mock draft, we got Jamar Chase. And in the second mock draft, we trade back with the Panthers. 8. We got a first-round pick in return. And we ended up getting Rashawn Slater with Penei Sewell being there. And I know lots of people don't like that. I know we're not going to. Personally, I'm not totally against it. But with Trey Lance was there. If Trey Lance is at number 5, keep this, pick this down and remember this. If Trey Lance is at number 5, I think the Bengals may trade back with the Panthers. If Trey Lance is at number 5, the Panthers are going to offer the Bengals, I think, a pretty nice trade offer. The Bengals, it was announced the 49ers offered the Bengals a trade offer, but the Bengals had no intention of trading. But if Trey Lance drops to 5, at least there'll be some consideration or some talks about the Panthers trying to trade up with the Bengals number 5. But personally, I like this a lot. With that trade, we got their first-round pick next season, and we took Rashawn Slater in the first. Terrence Marshall, the wide receiver from LSU, in the second round. I like that one a lot too. Patrick Jones, the edge rusher from Pittsburgh. That's my favorite pick in this draft. Patrick Jones is my favorite edge rusher, and that's a A+ value pick. Best player available, team need. That's an awesome pick there. In round 4, we take Trey Smith, the guard from Tennessee. In the 5th, Darius Stills, the defensive tackle from West Virginia. In the 6th, the speedster receiver from Auburn, Anthony Schwartz. Also in the 6th, Elijah Mitchell, the running back from Louisiana. And with our last pick of the draft, with the 7th round pick, we take Quentin Morris, the tight end from Bowling. Both these mock drafts were very, very nice. And I know we did not get Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell in this mock draft, but I actually might prefer this one over the first one, specifically because we did still get a nice tackle in Rashawn Slater. We didn't reach for him. Well, I don't personally believe we did. And we got a first-round pick in return, and Patrick Jones, that's an awesome pick. Terrence Marshall, that's a great pick. All these guys, I know I said it with the first one, but this one as well. All these guys are like best player available. Like, all these picks are awesome picks, and all these guys can contribute to the team. I'm really happy with both these mock drafts. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. I think they're both overall really nice, but I know lots of people are not going to like the second one because I traded back instead of getting Penei Sewell and Jamar Chase. So, that kind of about does it. Did a 2 Cincinnati Bengals during mock drafts. Thank you all for watching. You see the ticker thing below. It says make sure to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Like this video. Also follow me on Instagram, Sports Behind Show. and on Twitter, the Sports Behind Show as well. Thank you all so much for watching. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you next time on the Sports Behind Show.